River City School Board.
Welcome to Iowa.
It's 1912. Cell phones don't exist.
Crazy with the heat. Credit is no good for a notion, salesman.
Aboard! Aboard!
Why not? What's the matter with credit?
It's old-fashioned. Charlie, you're an anvil salesman. You're going to give credit?
No, sir.
Nor anybody else.
River City next!
Cash for the merchandise. Cash for the button hooks.
Cash for the cotton goods. Cash for the hard goods.
Cash for the soft goods. Cash for the fancy goods.
Cash for the zombies and the piggies and the birds.
Cash for the hogshead casting demijohn. Cash for the crackers and the pickles and the
bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk, 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 bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why the Model T4 made the trouble made the people want to go when you get out and go. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 22, 23 miles to the county seat.
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Who's gonna patronize a little bitty 2x4 kind of store anymore?
What are you talking? What are you talking? How do you get it?
Not the Model T at all. Take a gander at the store, at the modern store, at the present day store, at the present day modern departmentalized grocery store.
What are you talking? 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 How do you get it? What are you talking? What are you talking? What are you talking? How do you get it?
You can talk, you can bicker, you can talk, you can bicker, you can bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk, 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 bicker, bicker, bicker. You can talk all you want, but it's different than it was.
No, it ain't, but you gotta know the territory.
Why, it's the Union biscuit made the trouble. You need to put the crackers in a package. The Union biscuit in an airtight sanitary package made the Cracker Barrel obsolete.
Obsolete.
Cracker Barrel went out the window with the mail, passed about plug prong by the stove. Changed the approach of a traffic and the salesman made it pretty hard.
No, it didn't, but you gotta know the territory.
Go on, go on, go on with the hogshead, cask and demijohn. Gone with the sugar barrel, pickle barrel, milk pan. Gone with the tub and the pail and the tears.
Ever meet a fellow by the name of Hill?
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 Hill? Hill?
Hill!
No.
Just a minute.
Never heard of any salesman, Hill.
Now he doesn't know the territory.
Doesn't know the territory?
What's the bell line?
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his life?
Or the Cracker Barrel being obsolete, or the Union biscuit in an airtight sanitary package, or the Model T4.
Just a minute.
Never worries about his line.
Never worries about his life?
Or a doggone thing, he's just a bendy bell, bringing big haul freight bills, necking at the ripcord every time a bullseye salesman. That's Professor Harold Hill.
Tell us what's the line. What's the line?
He's a fake, and he doesn't know the territory.
What are you talking? What are you talking? What are you talking? What are you talking?
He's a music man.
He's a what? He's a what?
He's a music man, and he sells clarinets to the kids in the town with the big trombone, and the rat-a-tat-tat, and the big brass bass, and the piccolo, uniform suit with the shiny gold braid on the coat, and the big red stripe running.
Well, I don't know much about bands, but I do know you can't make a living selling big trombones. No, sir. Mandolin picks, perhaps, and here and there a Jew's heart.
No, the fella sells bands, boys bands. I don't know how he does it. But he lives like a king, and he dallies and he gathers and he plucks and he shines, and when the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. When the man dances, certainly boys, what else? The piper pays him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But he doesn't know the territory. River City, population 2,212. River City, we're across the state line into Iowa. Cigarettes illegal in this state. Board! Well, if you're all through, I'll tell you about Harold Hill.
You really know Harold Hill?
I've never seen him in my life, but I know this much. He's giving every one of us a black eye. After he's worked the town over, the next salesman to arrive gets automatically tarred and feathered and rode out to the city limits on a rail. You think that's funny? Wait till it happens to you. Your hair never grows back.
But why should he get rode out of town on a rail?
Because in order to sell band instruments and uniforms and instruction books, he's got a guarantee to teach them kids to play.
Well,
And to form them kids into a band with himself as the leader.
what's wrong with that?
He don't know one note from another. That's what's wrong with that. He don't know a bass drum from a pipe organ. I'll catch up with that swindling two-bit thimble rigger, and when I do, I'll squeal so loud.
Wow, Charlie, you're pretty upset. I'd still like to see it when you catch up with that fella.
Well, won't be on this trip. Even the great Professor Harold Hill won't try to sell them neck-bone Hawkeyes out here. Mort!
Gentlemen, you intrigue me. I think I'll have to give Iowa a try.
I don't believe I caught your name.
I don't believe I dropped it.
Bertha never come. Your Aunt Bertha's dead. Well, she wouldn't have come anyway.
Yes, I'd like to see about a rig for Sunday, if you can accommodate me.
And I expect you ought to see the man in charge of hiring Vic, who is late, as usual.
Oh, what a mate! I hope I don't lose the only legitimate job I've ever had. Hey, Gregory!
Marcellus?
You old son of a gun! What are you doing? Greg!
Professor Hill's the name, Harold Hill.
But Greg, what are you doing here? Why didn't you let me know he was coming?
I didn't know it was myself. Besides, how could I know you'd end up in a little tank town like this? You're a pretty big slicker when you're in business with me.
Too many close shaves the way you were. Besides, I got me a nice, comfortable girl now. And don't talk about it. Boss's niece.
Gone legitimate, huh? I always knew you'd come to know this.
So what's the new pitch? Oh no, Greg, you're not back in the band business. I thought you was at steam automobiles.
I was.
What happened?
Somebody actually invented one. Give me the lowdown here, Mars.
You'll never get anywhere in the band business with these stubborn irons, Greg. Besides, we got a stuck-up music teacher who will expose you before you get that grip on the path.
Male or female?
The music teacher? She's a librarian. Female.
Perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. If she passes by, you point her out to me.
I will. So, what's the, how do you start?
Same old way. My first step is to keep that music teacher off balance. And my next step is to get your town out of the serious trouble it's in.
Greg, River City isn't in any trouble.
Then I have to create some. I've got to create a desperate need for a boys' band. You remember? Now, what's new around here? What can I use?
Nothing. Except the billiard parlor's just put in a new pool table.
Well, they never had a pool table here before?
Nope, only billiards.
That'll do. I'll see you later, Mars. And remember, music teacher. Are you, Mr. Dunlop?
Oh, yeah.
Well, either you're closing your eyes to a situation you don't wish to acknowledge, or you are not aware of the caliber of disaster indicated by the presence of a pool table in your community. Well, you got trouble, my friend. Right here in City, trouble right here in River City. Why, sure, I'm a billiard player. Certainly my pride to say, always my pride to say. I consider that the hours I spend with a cue in my hand are gold. Help me cultivate horse sense and a cool hand and key eye. Don't you ever take a try to give an ironclad leave to yourself in a three-rail billiard shot? But just as I say, takes judgment, brains, maturity, the score of off-line game. I say that any move can take and shove it home in my pocket. And I call that sloth. The first big step on the road to the depths of dead where they can take first. Medicinal wine from a teaspoon, then beer from the bottle. And the next thing you know, your son's playing for money in a pinchback suit. Listen to this some big out-of-town Jasper here to tell about horse race gambling. Not a wholesome trot race, not a race they set down right on the horse. I can see some Watch for the telltale signs of corruption. The minute your son leaves the house, does he rebuckle his knickerbockers below the knee? Is there a nicotine stain on his index finger? A dime novel hidden in the corn crib? Is he memorizing jokes out of Captain Billy's whiz bang? Certain words creeping into his conversation. Words like swell and so's your old man. Well, so my friends, we got trouble. Oh, we got trouble. Right here in River City. The capital G that rhymes with P that stands for cool. That stands for cool. We surely got trouble. We surely got trouble. Right here in River City. Right here. Remember the Maine, Plymouth Rock, and the Golden Rule. Our children. Oh, we got trouble. We're in terrible, terrible trouble. That game of the 15 number calls the devil's pool. Did you drop here?
No.
But didn't I meet you?
No.
Well, I'll only be in town a short while.
Good. Even if
Winthrop, it's after dark. Now, is that any way to come into the house?
Hello.
Now, that won't do at all. I'll have a kiss for me boy. Now, the baby over there is your sister, young man.
Hello, Linda.
Winthrop, here's your manners.
I'm having a party on Saturday. Will you please come? I would especially like it very much if you come. Winthrop?
Well, Winthrop, Amarilla's asking to her party. Now, are you going? Or aren't you?
No.
No what?
No, thank you.
You know the little girl's name.
He won't say Amarillo because of the S, because of his list. He's ashamed.
We know all about his list, Amaryllis. Well, Winthrop?
I bet you won't say it. No, thank you, Amarillo. Amarillo! Amarillo! He's crying! Why does he get so mad at people? Just because he lists?
It's not only because he lives. That's just part of it, Amaryllis.
What's the other part?
Never mind, dear. It's just that he never talks very much.
Letting it to you and your mother?
No, dear. We all have to be a little patient.
I'm patient, even though he doesn't ever talk to me, but I do him. Every night I say goodnight to him on the evening star. You have to do it the very second you see it too, or it doesn't count. Good night, my Winthrop. Good night. Sleep tight.
Dear darling, don't cry. You have lots of time. If not Winthrop, there will be someone else.
Never! I'll end it with an name like you! I'm sorry, Miss Marion. Can I play my crossword piece?
May I play
May I play my crossword piece?
May.
See, without Sweetheart, you'll know what to say goodnight to on the evening star.
That's right, Amaryllis. But for the time being, just say goodnight by someone. You can put the name in when the right someone comes along.
Okay, it's better than nothing.
Now you can play your crosshand piece.
Now I have it in my pocket.
Good night, my love. Good night,
Eulalie McKechnie-Shin for leading the singing. And to J.C. Squires for his fine stereo-optician slide. And at the Poppeliner, our fine piano piano. As Mayor of River City, I welcome you River citizens to the 4th of July exercises set up for indoors here in Madison Gymnasium account of the weather. Four score! Four score! The members of the school board will now present a patriotic jingle. The members of the school board will not present a patriotic. Some disagreement about costumes, I suppose. Instead, the River City chapter of the Iowa Elocution and Opera Society will present a spectacle. My wife! In which my wife, Eulalie McKechnie-Shin, will take a leading part. The Ride of the Valkyries.
Oh, yes, it was Tommy Juice.
Tommy Juice, I wouldn't leave my Juice.
Mrs. Shen will recover. Oh, thanks to a certain young hoodlum who's a disgrace to the city. 4-7. The Payne's fireworks spectacle, the last days of Pompeii, will take place, providing the rain stops by 9:30. It'll be over to Madison Picnic Park in the Far Meadow across the creek from the Pest House.
Wait a minute, how can it be raining? Didn't the Gazette predict fair?
Sure did, Eric. That's why we all prepared for a storm.
The Gazette is accurate most of the time, and you know it, J.C.
You wouldn't get far in the banking business being right most of the time.
Well, I can't believe it.
Order.
Looks like the number 8's running late again.
I made her early.
She's late, all right.
She's right on time.
Oh, now with your Will you members of the school board quit bickering in public?
All in the world, that's never said was.
Never mind. 4-4.
We heard there's a pool table in town.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Just a minute.
Oh, is it the pool table or is it this?
Will you get on with the exercises?
There'll be no more exercises till we get this pool table down set.
Let's protect our children. Resist sin and corruption. Let's snipe that devil and keep our young boys pure. May I have your attention, please? Attention, please. I can deal with his troubled friends with a wave of my hand this very minute. Please insert me if you will. I'm Professor Harold Hill, and I'm here to organize the River City Boys Band. Oh, think my friends I can any pool table ever hopes to compete with a gold trombone. Remember, my friends, what a handful of trumpet players did to the famous fabled walls at Jericho. Oh, billiard parlor walls come tumbling down. Well, band will do it, my friends. Oh, yes, I said a boys' band, do you hear? I said River City's got to have a boys' band, and I mean she needs it today. Well, Professor Harold Hill's on hand. River City's got to have a boys' band, as sure as the Lord made little green apples. And that band's going to be a uniform. Johnny, Willie, Teddy, Fred. And you'll see the glitter of crashing cymbals. And you'll hear the thunder of rolling drums and the shimmer of trumpets. And you'll feel something akin to the electric thrill I once enjoyed when Gilmore Liberat, Pat Conway, the great Creator, W.C. Handy, and John Philip Sousa. All came to town on the very same historic day. 76 trombones led the big parade, with 110 cornets close at hand. They were followed by rows and rows of the finest virtuosos, the cream of every famous band. 76 trombones caught the morning sun, with 110 cornets right behind. There were more than 1,000 reeds springing up like weeds. There were horns of every shape and kind. There were copper bar, timpani, and horse platoon. Thundering all along the way. Double bell, euphoniums, and big bassoons. Each bassoon having his big band say. There were 50 mounted cannon in a battery. Thundering louder than before. Clarinets of every size and trumpeters could improvise a full octave higher than the score.
Gotta make an example of this kid. He's a ringleader, you know. What he does, like Eddie does.
Jilly Clyde, let me go. The black kid hanging around my oldest girl. His father is one of them day laborers out in town. Black kid tagging down Main Street after my oldest girl last Sunday. I wasn't even tagging. Don't you counterdict me. We just walking together. Jilly Clyde. You watch your phraseology. I know what you was doing by going crazy seeing it. Now you stay away from my oldest girl, or you'll hear from me tell who laid the rails. Bill, I'll talk to you Monday morning about this band thing. Over at City Hall, 10 o'clock sharp. Then, get that spellbinder's credentials.
Constable, I'll be responsible for the boy.
Professor, you don't don't know this kid. He's tough. He's got a gang waiting outside.
Oh, I'll be careful. Tommy, I wanted to talk to you about the band.
Oh, gee, Professor, that's a little...
Well, I'm not talking about you playing in the band. Now, you're mechanically minded, aren't you? Do you ever do anything with perpetual motions?
You have a couple times.
You did. Well, you're my man. Do you realize no one has ever invented a music holder for a marching piccolo player? There's no place to hang the music.
Gee, Clyde. Wonder where I can get some water from.
Look in your cellar. That's where people keep water. Oh, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Now, Constable, I'll show you how to break up a gang. A young lady, a miss. What's your name?
Sanita, I didn't have any idea you was beckoning it to me. Ye gods!
Do you know a Tommy Gilas?
Well,
Tommy, this is Zanita. Escort the young lady home.
only it's something I'm not going for. I have to go to the library. Ye gods!
And escort the young lady home by way of the library, by way of the candy kitchen.
Yes, sir.
Do I have to? You have to.
Yes, sir.
Ye gods!
Professor, you're a pretty bright young fella. Made a couple of mistakes, though.
Oh,
The mayor happens to own a billiard parlor and that new pool table.
oh. What was my other mistake?
That's Anita. She's the mayor's oldest girl. Just a minute, Professor Hill. We need to have your credentials. We're the school board.
Academic credentials.
Nothing of the sort. We need letters and papers.
Make him put up a loan.
Wait, what am I hearing? Say ice cream.
Ice cream. But I don't think young man, if that's the truth.
Talk then. Down here, ice cream.
Ice cream.
Slow.
Ice cream.
You see, singing is only sustained talking. How do you serve? Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream. Ladies, from now on, you will not see one of these men without the other three.
Oh, you're wrong, Professor. Why, they've hated each other for 15 years.
Ice cream. Ice cream. Ice cream.
How can there be any sin?
Where is the good in goodbye? In goodbye. Your apprehensions confuse me. Puzzled and mystified, tell me what can be fair in farewell, dear, while one single star shines above. How can there be any sin in sin? Aren't we sincerely in love with Lord?
Well, I don't suppose you live alone or anything.
No.
I have some wonderful caramels over at the hotel.
Mr. Hill.
Professor Hill.
Professor of what? At what college do they get a degree for annoying women on the street, like a Saturday night rally at a public dance hall?
Oh, I wouldn't know anything about that. I'm a conservatory man myself. Gary, Indiana, gold medal class of Mach 5.
Even if that thing happened to be true, does that give you a right to follow me wherever I go? And another thing, Mr. Hill, I'm not as easily mesmerized or hoodwinked as some people in this town, and I think it only fair to warn you that I have a shelf full of reference books in the library, which may very well give me some interesting information about you.
Gregory, how'd you make out with the music?
Scrumptious. Get out of my hand the minute I tip my hat.
She did? Boy, you sure cut a swat tonight. For a minute there, even I thought you might know something about leading a band. Just like when you used to imitate that band concert fella back in Joplin.
Oh, yeah. Now, that's kid stuff. I'm in rare form these days, son. You just keep your eyes on me for the next 4 weeks.
4 weeks? But it used to only take 10 days for the instruments to arrive.
Well, it still does, but it takes 4 weeks for the uniform.
Oh, no, Greg. You haven't had uniforms.
Uniforms and instruction books.
Instruction books? But you can't pass yourself off as a music professor. I mean, not for 4 weeks.
Ours.
But you don't know one note from another.
Well, Mars, when the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else.
But Greg, in 4 weeks, the people will want to hear the music. You'll have to lead a band.
When the uniforms arrive, they forget everything else, at least long enough for me to collect and leave. Oh, this is a refined operation. I got a time to ride down to the last wave of the brakeman's hand on the last train out of town. Now, if you'll excuse me, Mr. Washburn.
You're gonna line yourself up in the canoe today.
Well,
Say, I gotta set you up with Ethel's sister. Lovely girl. Teaches Sunday school.
no wide-eyed, wholesome, innocent Sunday school teacher for me. That kind of girl spins webs, no spider ever. Now listen, boy. A girl who trades on all that purity merely wants to trade my independence for her security. The only affirmative she replies refers to marching down the aisle, no golden glorious, gleaming, pristine eyes. No, sir, no, Diana, do I play fun? I can tell you that right now. I snark, I hiss, how can ignorance be compared to bliss? I spark, I fizz, for the lady who knows what time it is. I cheer, I rage, for the virtue I'm too late to save. The sadder the wiser girl for me. Pride and blush and frankness make all ways. No, sir, that kind of child ties knots no sailor ever knew. I've heard them take a ship on more adult romance. No too young is who keeps resisting. All the time she keeps insisting. No wide-eyed wholesome innocent female. No, sir, for she's a fisherman, I'm the fish you see. I flinch, I shock, when the last of the delicate air goes by. I smile, I grin, when the gal with a touch of sin locks in. I hope and I pray for Hester to win just one more A. The sadder but wiser girl's a girl for me. The sadder but wiser girl for me.
We're all gone, simply on the Q-Eve. Everyone's so excited! The band!
I double tall and I have a piano girl.
And this is Mrs. Squires and Miss Tex. And of course, you've met Lady McCaffrey Shin, our mayor's wife. Oh, isn't it exciting, you lady?
Oh, I couldn't say. I could not say. Oh no, I could not say at this time. My husband will wish to investigate, I'm sure. And naturally, I'm reticent. Oh yes, I'm reticent.
Of course, Mrs. Shin, I understand. But you see, part of my music plans include a committee on the dance. No, wait. Do that again, Mrs. Shin. Your foot, the way you raised it just now.
Oh, well, I have a bunion there.
What grace, what natural flow of rhythm, what expression of line and movement.
Miss
You must accept the chairmanship of the Ladies' Auxiliary on the classic dance, mustn't she, ladies? Mustn't she? Every move you make, Mrs. Shin, bespeaks Del Sart. Or will you say yes, Mrs. Shin?
You hail
Then you accept?
Yes. Oh, I'm going to
Oh, thank you. Now, the young lady who plays the piano, Marion Peru, I believe? Well, after all, she is the librarian.
Take a little talk, take a little talk, kick, 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 come along, take a little talk, take a little talk, take a little talk, kick, 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 come along, take a little talk, take a little talk, kick, 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 come along, take a little talk, take a little talk, take a little talk, kick, 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 take the her back on the blow, and then kick, kick, what does she not tell you? What does she have to do?
Pretty books.
I'll tell. That woman made brazen overtures to a man who never had a friend in this town until she came here. Oh, Miser Madison.
Miser Madison? Madison Picnic Park, Madison Gymnasium, Madison Hospital, that Miser Madison.
Exactly. Who did you think he was anyway?
Well, I should say. Show off. We gave the town a library too, didn't we?
That's just it. When he died, he left the library building to the city.
And he left all the books to her.
She was seen going and coming from this place.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That woman made brazen overtures to the
to tell you, dear, I love you madly, 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 my Marian. Marian, it's a long lost cause I can never win, for the civilized world accepts an unforgivable sin. Any talking out loud with any like Marian, such as Marian. Late sets, ladies, Tuesday nights are so madam, my Well, Tommy, we had a pretty good morning. 11 sales out of 12 tries. I'll tell you what, it's almost noon. You better go on home and get some dinner. I'll try a couple by myself. Goodbye, Professor. Thanks, Tommy.
Just a minute there. Are you soliciting? You haven't got a license.
Oh, I know, Mr. Mayor. I collect doorbells. And this particular specimen has an unusual tone quality.
Flattery will not avail you. Soliciting is statutory in this county. Malfeasance without a permit. Why aren't you at City Hall with your reference?
I just missed you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, your hand. Oh, no.
What?
Well, that's spread of the little finger. That's hereditary.
Well, it is? What's that?
That means that your son's little finger is perfectly situated to operate the spit valve on a B-flat flugelhorn.
Is that good?
Good. That means America has at last produced an artist who can flugel the minute waltz in 50 seconds.
How do I get one of them home?
Oh, sign here, Mr. Mayor. That'll be $17 import fee.
Yes, sir. Just think I could have missed this whole... I haven't got any, son! You want scrapulous? You blew my night? You want flaculous? You be over at City Hall with your 5 back papers at 3 o'clock!
Oh, you mean this afternoon?
Couldn't make myself any plainer if I was a Quaker on his day off.
Mrs. Brew, do you realize you have the facial characteristics of a cornet virtuoso?
I don't know if I understand you entirely, Professor.
If your son has that same firm chin, those splendid cheek muscles, Gilbert. Well, not that he can ever be really great, you understand.
Oh, is that so? And in the name of St. Bridget, why not?
Well, you see, all the really great cornet players were Irish. O'Clark, O'Mendez, O'Kline.
We are Irish.
No, really. Well, that clinches it. Sign here, madam. Your boy was born to play the cornet. Fine. That would be $7 earnest money. Nothing more due until the first installment, payable at opening band practice. Thank you. And now, of course, I'll take the boy's measurements for his uniform.
Uniform?
Oh, the son? Why, certainly his uniform, which gives him 4 weeks to enjoy, to anticipate, to imagine. Never allow the demands of tomorrow to interfere with the pleasures and excitement of today.
Would it have
Stripe? Why, certainly, my boy, a wide red stripe down each side. Now, what do you think of that?
Oh, Professor, you'll have to excuse Winthrop. We can't get him to say 3 words a day, even to us. Oh, and if you can get him to play in a band, why, you'll have saved Michael's old way with you. But if anyone can do it, I'll bet you can. Like, out of a crowd, I'd pick you for a hod-carrying, clay-pipe smoking, shamrock wearing, harp playing, mouthing, pitch and terrace hall, minstrel, singing Irishmen, bedaubing be jabbers, where you from me, boy?
Gary, Indiana.
I knew it. Yeah. Where'd you say?
Gary, Indiana. In fact, Gary Conservatory was my alma mater.
What's she know?
Gold medal class of 5. How do you do, Miss Peru?
How do you do, Mr. Hill?
Of course, Peru. I thought the name sounded familiar. I tried to see you since the other night.
He wants to put Winthrop in the band.
We're not interested, Mama.
But Marion, the boy might have his father's musical gift. He does have me drawing.
Your husband musical? Well, I'd like to have a talk with him. I'm sure that we could have some sort of
You bursting on everyone's home like this, prying into personal affairs? We're not interested.
Mary.
Well, that's one for, one against. Now, why not let the boy's father decide?
The boy's father is dead. Anything else?
Well, I am sorry. But that's all the more reason why your brother should have something like this.
My brother is an 8-year-old problem child who can't seem to understand why his father was taken away. Do you care to explain that to him? He's been brooding about it for 2 years. And as to your musical tricks, why don't you go to business with some nice carnival man who sells gold-painted watches and glass diamond rings?
Musical tricks, Miss Peru. You know, I get the feeling she likes the idea. Oh, a little cautious, perhaps, but I admire that in a woman. You just keep me alive, and I'll be back later in the week.
One moment, Professor Hill. About the boy's measurements. I make all his clothes. Sleeve 21, waist 18, crouch 40.
Oh, thank you. That's all I need. I must get back to the hotel.
Professor Hill, I hope you'll excuse Marion.
Oh, please.
She's not...
Please. Don't worry about a thing. I'm sure that at heart, she's as lovely as yourself. Good day to you, Widow Peru.
Has he gone?
He has, and I hope not forever. Darling, don't you ever think of your future. Gary, Indiana, conservation class about right.
Oh, Mom. Surely a girl's future must depend on encouraging every fast-talking, woman-chasing, self-centered traveler man who comes to town. And the fact that he claims his commodity is music does not, in this particular case, impress me.
All right, darling, all right. Only it's a well-known principle. You keep the flint in one drawer, steel in the other. You'll never strike much of a fire.
Winthrop! Winthrop! I know you're there. Winthrop? Oh, Winthrop. Please go to the library and ask Miss Grubbs to give you the book I sent her. The Indiana State Educational Journal, 1890 to 1910. It's a large brown volume with black corners.
Do I have to?
You don't have to talk to anybody. I've written it all down. Thank you, dear.
Now, what are you up to? Why do you need books at this hour of the night?
I have a feeling that Indiana Journal may help me poke some large holes in the professor's claims.
What if I give up? If you don't mind me saying, at your age, what sort of white knight do you expect to come riding along?
Well, I'm not waiting for Luther Griner, who backs me into the ancient history shelves every time he comes into the library.
He does?
Or Ed Gamage with that buggy of his in the movable back seat. I'm not waiting for a man in shiny white armor.
The school board is singing up straight and down alley instead of tending to city business. Those girls boom around with some wild kid. And my business has fallen so far I can't find the balance sheet.
Mr. Mayor, I found something very interesting in this book about Professor Hill's alma mater.
Is who?
His university.
Oh, I know all about that. In fact, it's the only thing I can get out of him. Gary Conservatory, class of 05.
Just take time to read a little bit about the conservatory. I don't think you have to look any further. It's on page...
Likely story. At this hour? Nonsense. The Wells Fargo wagon? The bandits.
Oh, the Wells Fargo wagon is a
meantime, stay off the streets, get acquainted with your instruments, and remember the think system. Think about the minuet in G.
Round one for you, Mr. Hill. But I better hear some by-God tooting out of them horns in pretty short order, or I'll see you in front of the grand jury over at the county seat. Now, Miss Marion, about that book.
Come, George, Tempest Fugits.
You watch for free.
How long have you watched? I need to see you get something from the librarian. About that book.
The ladies' dance committee meets Tuesday nights at the high school.
that our Delsart display will be the highlight of the ice cream social. All right, gentlemen, if you're ready. And ladies, remember, don't make me say this again. Always keep your face to the audience. All right, Mr. Selma.
It's you in the sunrise. It's you in my car.
It's you all the way into town. It's your sweet melody that sets me on.
And it's your got to go, dear, that gets me down. It's you on my pillow in all of my dreams, till once more the morning breaks through. What words could be saner or truer or plainer than it's you? It's you.
Smile, girls, smile.
Yes, it's you.
Oh, yes, it's you.
Mr. Washburn, we are entitled to 5 more minutes.
If you think you can hold these kids back, go ahead and try. Start up, Mr. Washburn. Wait till we see clean steps from Professor Hill's office. What'll it be, kids? That's your movie.
Well, the little kiss on the very first date is usually a hussy. And a little kiss on the second time out is anything but fussy. But a woman will wait till the third time around, head in the clouds, feet on the ground. She's the gal who's
Your daughter and I have been going steady behind your back. Behind you? We'd rather do it in front of your back, but you would. Oh, it's me to scare you, but I'm not. I should think you'd hate to have your own daughter scare you. Gee,
I'm gonna warn you once more. If I ever catch you touching my daughter, I'll buy you a horsewhip you till hell won't happen again.
Now, George.
Not one poop out of you, madam.
I think he means Pete.
Yes, now get out of this public building.
I got as much right in a public building as anybody.
Right, what gives you any right around here? Aiding and abetting the swindling activities of that spellbinding symbol salesman? You know what I see written all over you? Reform school. Now get out, you little kid.
Papa, please. It's capitalists like you make blood in the marketplace. Eat gods.
You like your phraseology, young lady. Now ho ho. You lady, you tend your name.
My dance.
I'll handle Zanita. Taking up with wild kids from the wrong side of town.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just make you understand.
Well, you can't. And by the way, thanks for nothing. I read that book you gave me from cover to cover for a week and I didn't find a thing.
Now, Mr. Mayor, if you please.
I'll settle your hash after I get these premises off my oldest girl. Yeah.
All right, in the meantime, I'll have you know I'm vouching for Tommy Jeeves. That boy's got the confidence of every kid in this town. He'll be standing in line waiting to shake his hand by the time our band plays its first concert.
By the time your band plays its first concert, its individual members will have to foregather in wheelchairs. On account of the broken legs they'll have, tripping over the mirrors. Now, I'm going to tell you something. My mom got feathered, my feathered young. Oh, never mind. Oliver, and he were, also JC. Get that man's references and get him tonight. And don't let him out of your sight. He's slipper the Mississippi sturgeon.
You mean to say you want us to get his credentials?
Get his papers or get him in jail. I couldn't be clear if I was a button hook in the well water.
Professor Hill, I think Mayor Shin behaved abominably, and I think it was wonderful of you coming to Tommy's defense.
Oh, that was nothing.
Yes, it was.
Oh, no. A man can't dodge the issue every time a little personal risk is involved. But what does the poet say? Coward dies 1,000 deaths. A brave man, only 500. Of course, the mayor was already pretty mad on account of the billiard parlor. Oh, I suppose a recommendation from a musical authority like yourself would help, but I couldn't ask you to do a thing like that.
You want Professor Hill?
You would?
I'd be glad to. I just wish I was a little more informed. I've been meaning to talk to you about Winthrop's cornet.
Nice cornet. Mother of pearl keys.
Oh, I'm sure it's fine. But you see, he never touches it. Oh, the first week or so we made some experimental, blacks, I guess you'd say.
Yes, blacks.
And he sings the minuet in G da da, almost constantly. But he never touches his cornet.
Well, you see,
He says you told him it wasn't necessary.
well,
He talks about the think system. If he thinks the minuet in G, he doesn't have to bother with the notes. Now,
Now, Mr.
Professor,
Murray, the think system is a revolutionary methodology. Well, so was Galileo's conception of the heavens, Columbus's conception of the egg and globe, Bach's conception of the well-tempered clavichord. Now, I would love to discuss, I cannot discuss these things in public, but if you would allow me to call, when may I call?
my any night this week.
Sorry, Professor, but we got our orders.
We've been deputized.
Yes, congratulations. Now, you know, all week I've tried to give you fellows my letters and papers and things, but you always seem to get off the subject somehow. Now I have just what you want up in my hotel room. Take me a second.
Oh, sorry. Afraid I'm going to have to go with you.
Yes, of course. Well, let me just see if I have my key. What's this? Testimonial from Madame Reed, the only female bassoon player ever to appear on the Red Path circuit. Her stage name, of course. Actually, she was from Moline. Lida Rose Quackenrose. Oh, I'll never forget the name, Lida Rose. Just like in the old song. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose.
To get the sun back in the sky. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose. About 1,000 kisses shy. Ding dong ding, I can hear the chapel bell chime. Ding dong ding, at the least suggestion, I'll pop the question. Lida Rose, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Lida Rose, now everyone knows that I am hoping you're the same. So here is my love song, not fancy or fine. Lida Rose, so won't you be mine? Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose, oh, Lida Rose.
You mean Professor Hill?
Mm-hmm. And look, I still have some words left.
Did you have a good time?
Nothing. He told me all about his hometown here in Indiana. And he said he'd take me there someday. And he taught me a song that hardly has any
I'll do them, Mama.
Well, don't you have to dress for the sociable?
Oh, there's time later.
Shins live around here?
The Shin home is on East Elm. This is West Elm.
Oh, I see you're the piano teacher in town. You must have heard about this fella Hill forming a boys band here.
Yes.
Well, don't let it worry you no more. I got the goods on him in spades. Swindling two-bit fiddle rear. That's why I got to see Shin. I'm just passing through. Number 8 only takes a 15-minute water stop. Ooh, wish it were 20. Like to concentrate 5 minutes on you, girl.
Who are you?
Name's Charlie Cowell, anvil salesman. Just now I'm out to protect the good name of the traveling fraternity from this swindler.
Mr. Howell, you're making a big mistake.
Mistake? My old lady's corset cover. Have you heard? Take my old lady's corset cover. This fella's been the raspberry seed in my wisdom tooth just long enough. He spoiled Illinois for me, and I'm not going to let him spoil Iowa. Say, what kind of music teacher are you? You've never seen right through him. He's no more professor than...
Oh, I know all about that. All band leaders are called professor. It's a harmless deception. He's a fine musician and...
Now, wait a minute. Fine musician? Have you heard one note of music from any band?
No, but...
But nothing, girly girl. He's never formed a band in his life. And he never would.
Oh, if you just listen to me for a minute.
Oh, I'd like to. Like to do more than that. I had time. Sure got the inclination. But I got to get back on that train. And I got to deliver this dynamite to somebody on the way to the depot. Bye, girly girl. I'll catch you next time through.
Oh, you'll never make that train at the depot. You'll have to catch it at the crossing.
No, sir. I got to leave word, and I can tell you ain't the one to leave it with.
Just a minute, Mr. Cowell. You don't know me yet.
Is that an invitation?
No. Oh, I meant I don't know you, and...
Yeah, I need more time anyway.
As well as I'd like to.
No trouble there, girl.
I think you need to leave word with me. I've never met an animal salesman before.
Takes a real salesman, I can tell you that. Anvils have a limited appeal. What am I doing? I missed that train, and I'll get fired. And I've got to leave word about that fella Hill.
Leave word with me.
Not on your tin time. How do I know you'll deliver the letters?
Try me. There's your train, Mr. Cowell. Run for it.
You double-dealing little... Who do you think you're protecting? That fella's got a girl in every county in Illinois. And he's taking it from every one of them. And that's 102 counties. Not counting the piano teachers like you who cozies up to keep their mouths shut. Neither of you heard the last of me, girly girl.
The question, line rolls, I'm home again, Rose, without a sweetheart to my name. Good evening, Miss Marion. Line rolls now, everyone knows that I'm hoping you're the same. So here's my
Marion, dear. Who was you talking to just... Professor Hill.
Mrs. Peru, the top of the evening. Miss Marion.
You and Marion come up and set. I got some jelly on the stove.
There's no jelly on the stove, Mama.
Well, I put some on.
Shall we set as your mother said?
Well,
Well, you did ask me to call.
Did I? Oh, I didn't mean anything invite?
Now, Miss Marion, I'm not suggesting your invitation inferred anything but academic enlightenment. The Think system. I've been by your house a time or two this week to explain it, but there always seem to be people around. Mostly ladies, I thought.
Yes, Mrs. Squires and several of the ladies.
I'm glad. I wouldn't want anybody beating my time. You wouldn't? No, ma'am. Well, evidently it's not the convenient night. I'll see you at the sociable later.
Professor Hill, is it really true that you had 100? Oh, what I'm trying to say is it really true that you've developed a think system?
A what? A think system, yes. It's really very simple. As simple as whistling. Not no one has to show you how to use your lips in whistling. All you have to do is think the tune and have it come out clearly here. Now you just try this yourself before you ask any more questions.
I take your word.
Couldn't please sit down?
Are all music teachers as dense as I am?
All music teachers.
I dare say you've met dozens, even 100.
Well,
Have they all been as fascinated as I have with the think system?
some more, some less. One young lady thought of the same system before I got to her town. She showed me a few refinements.
I see.
I said something wrong.
Don't let me keep you, Professor Hill. You must have many more important things to do than to think about the think system with me.
Well, I can't think of one.
That must be very dull company for a man of your experience.
Say, where did you get an idea like that?
One hears rumors of traveling salesmen.
Now, Miss Marion, you mustn't believe everything you hear. After all, one even hears rumors about librarians.
I suppose you're referring to Uncle Matty.
Uncle Matty?
Mr. Madison, my father's best friend. No matter what they say, he left me an assured job so that Mother, Winthrop, and I would have some security. Surely you don't believe...
Well, of course not, but that's exactly what I'm saying. Now, what do you think starts those rumors?
Narrow-mindedness. Jealousy. Jealousy mostly, I guess.
Exactly. Jealousy mostly starts rumors about traveling salesmen. What have you heard?
Oh, nothing about you personally. Just
Well,
generally.
then what have you heard generally?
Just that. But of course it stands to reason that disappointment and jealousy can lead to, take you for instance. Your attention to customers and to, teachers could very well be misinterpreted now, mightn't they? Now honestly, mightn't they?
Well?
And so to say, if another salesman or someone were jealous, it could be downright lies now, couldn't they?
What could?
Rumors and things.
Yes, of course.
It just proves that you should never believe everything you hear, now doesn't it? If you just discuss things.
Miss Marion, I would be delighted to discuss anything in the world with you, but couldn't we do it sitting down? You do sit, your knees bend.
We could sit on the porch steps.
We could also sit on a large hollow log over the footbridge.
Oh, I couldn't think of it. I've never been to the footbridge with a man in my life.
Just to talk.
I had got a dress for the sociable.
Then meet me there in 15 minutes.
I just can't. Some other time, maybe tomorrow.
My dear little librarian. You pile up enough tomorrows. You'll find you collected nothing but a lot of empty yesterdays. I don't know about you, but I'd like to make today worth remembering.
So would I.
The footbridge. 15 minutes.
15 minutes. What? I just told Harold Hill I'd meet him at the footbridge in 15 minutes.
Glory be and the saints be praised.
What does?
I've been using the think system on you from the parlor.
The uniforms have arrived. The kids are in them already. People are going to be screaming for music if those kids show up at the social hall. Here's most of the dough. I got Tommy to collect it. He's trying to keep the kids together at least, pretending to hold a rehearsal down at the lumber yard.
What time's the freight go?
9:40 from the junction.
It's not even 8:30 yet.
Listen, you want to turtle wordle around here and get caught up in a bunny trap? You go ahead.
Don't worry, Mars. I'll meet you in the hotel in plenty of time. Miss Mary, you're late.
You said 15 minutes.
I've been here about 26 years late. Took you all this time to get the footbridge with a fella.
If you want to know the truth, it was almost longer.
Oh?
Halfway here, I nearly turned back. I suppose I'm not the first to find it easier to think clearly when I'm not under the spell of your salesmanship.
Now, Miss Mary, surely you don't think I've been selling you anything?
Oh no, you've given me something. That's why I decided to come.
I don't recall giving.
Oh, yes you have. Something beautiful. And that's why I came. I'm glad. Oh, don't be afraid that I expect too much more. One can't expect a traveling salesman to stay put. I know there have been many ports of call, and there will be many more. That's no reason for me not to be grateful for what it is you will have left behind for me.
Mary.
There were clouds on the hills, but I never heard them ringing. No, I never heard them at all, till there was you.
I'm expecting a cable from Hector Berlioz. This could be it. Now,
Say, who's the salesman around here? Looks like she's selling and you're buying.
I didn't know I was going to be able to leave tonight. I had to keep her off balance, didn't I? I told you.
Yeah, well, she's so far off balance now, you can't tell her from a catboat and a hurricane.
Listen, Buster Brown. I've come up through the ranks on this skirmish. I'm not resigning without my commission.
Yeah, well, you can't get anywhere right out here on that footbridge.
There's a place over at Madison Park makes this footbridge look like an old ladies' home. Now beat it, go get the rig. Never a peaceful moment in the music business. However,
You were about to tell me what I don't know about you.
yeah. Well, we don't have to go into that right now, do we?
No, we don't. Or ever, for that matter, Harold. The librarian hasn't felt much like doing research lately, but she did plenty when we first arrived.
Oh, about what?
About Professor Harold Hill, Gary Conservatory of Music, Gold Medal Class of Ot 5. Harold, there was no Gary Conservatory of Music in Ot 5.
There certainly was.
Because the town wasn't even built till Ot 6. I'll see you at the sociable.
You knew all the time.
Since July 7th, 3 days after you came, I tore this page out of the Indiana Journal. It was originally intended to use against you, but now I give it to you with all my heart.
But if you knew, why didn't you? Why you knew? Well, 110 cornets played the air, and I modestly took my place as the one and only bass, and I moved up and down the square. With 110 cornets right behind. There were horns of every shape. Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. I wish I may, and I wish I might. Now good night, my someone. Good night.
Hill! Did I get the hill? Swindling some over here.
Greg, this guy's crazy. He's going to overtown, spilling the beans about everything.
I'll say I'm crazy. And this place ain't probably lost like John too. But I got you now, Hill, and you're gonna pay. You being the clink already that hasn't been to that piano teacher. Oh, I told her all about you. And what does she do? Lily gangs me around till I can't get to shin. Little dried up, man-hungry doxy, round-heel biscuit.
Get out of here, I'll kill you, dirty mouth.
What? You bully? You big blow-off? I'll stay in this town till you get yours. Up, down, through, and sideways. Why, you never even knew the territory.
Here's your stuff. The rig's on the hour. Come on. Hurry up, hurry up.
Listen to this man.
You gullible green grass goats. Can't you see you're being swindled out of your eye teeth right now, this minute? There's a burglar in the bedroom while you're fiddling in the parlor. His name is Harold Hill. Road agent, highwayman, pickpocket.
Pickpocket?
Same thing. He's had his hand in your wallet, mister, and yours, madam, and yours, little lady, ever since he arrived in this town. There's more documented evidence than you'll ever have time to read. There's no band. Never has been a band. Never will be a band. And if you don't hunt this man down right now like a mad dog, there won't be any Harold Hill. He'll be on that first train out of town.
Now will you believe me? What are we waiting for?
I want my money back!
Money back on one is high.
After him! And when you find him, bring him to the schoolhouse. After him! Try the low road.
You don't owe me a word, not a word. And oh, please.
Oh, Greg! What? Oh, he's not anywhere around here. Let's drive down by the creek.
Hey, wait a minute there, son.
I'm not your son. Let me go.
Until I talk to you for a minute.
I won't listen. You won't tell me the truth anyway.
I will too.
Why not?
I will too. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Can you get a band?
No.
Are you a big liar?
Yes.
Are you a dirty rotten crook?
Yes.
Then let me go, you big liar.
What's the matter? You wanted the truth, didn't you? Now I'm bigger than you, and you're going to stand there and get it all, so you might as well quit wiggling. Now, there's two things you're entitled to know. One, you're a wonderful kid. I thought so from the first. That's why I wanted you in the band, so you could stop moping around, feeling sorry for yourself.
What band?
I always think you're a band, kid.
What's the other thing I'm entitled to know?
No. Actually, the other thing isn't any of your business, now that I think of it.
I wish you never come to River City.
Oh, no, you don't, Winthrop.
You believe him?
I believe everything he ever said.
But he promised us.
I know what he promised us. And it all happened just like he said. And the lights, and the flags, and the colors, and the symbols.
But where was all that?
And the way every kid in this town walked around here all summer and looked and acted, especially you, Winthrop, and their parents too. Do you think Mom wishes he'd never come to River City?
Well, you do, don't you?
No, I don't. Now go, please.
Go on, Professor. Hurry up.
I can't go, Winthrop.
Why not?
Because for the first time in my life, I got my foot caught in the door. There was love around, but I never heard it singing. No, I never heard it at all. Well, that was you.
which is why I interrupted the program at this point. But rest assured, this snake in our bosom would have been misapprehended by now. Yes. And always remember, my fellow river citizens, I can only remind you that I did everything in my power to prevent this dire happening from happening. Fourscore,
What have you done to get our money back?
That professor's taking nearly $300 for uniforms just tonight.
And we haven't even seen them uniforms yet.
he's slippery, I told you.
I haven't seen any uniforms or my boy either since 2 days December.
Kidnapper? Fine situation here.
Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation. Just a minute! Virtue has triumphed. The sword of retribution has cut down Professor Harold Hill. Make way! And if there are those among you, as I have heard, who are heating tar and gathering feathers, I will not say their name.
Now I should say there ought to be some of you willing to forget our everlasting, Iowa stubborn, chip on the shoulder arrogance. Long enough to remember River City before Harold Hill arrived. Do you remember? Now do you? Surely some of you ought to be grateful for what he's brought to River City. And if so, I should think you'd want to admit it.
You are wasting a great deal of time here. If there's a person in this hall who does not think this man Hill should be tarred and feathered, let him step forward. You lady! And the rest of you, standing around like a coat of Shropshire sheep. Have you people forgotten that you bought expensive uniforms and technical instruction books and bought expensive band instruments? Have you forgotten the express understanding and warranty that your children would be taught to play in a band? Well, where's the band? Where is the band?
Thank you, man.